The draft. I'm in the draft. It turns out my stream. Okay, it turns out my stream ended itself. I'm in the middle of the draft. I'm trying to find out which teams I should trade with, because I want to be able to get a second, maybe two, if they have to, and a first. I want to get two players for this guy. Ravens, maybe? Motherfuckers. Who can I fucking trade for this shit? I just want to move up in the draft. Bengals? Okay. Maybe I can take a player that costs a lot of money that they don't need. Tyler Boyd. That definitely helps their cap a bit. Nope, not giving them a third. Not a QB either game. Tyler Boyd and who else? Wait a second. Okay. Fuck. Add Boyd back in. They're still over it. How is when I add the left tackle, they go even higher? Oh, fuck. Who's gonna have a high second round pick? Dolphins. Yeah, take a second from them and maybe another pick if they have anymore. Browns. Like, I'm just guessing at this point. Browns. Way over their cap. What the fuck? Okay. Traded him within my division, yada yada yada. You shouldn't do that. I needed to get rid of him. Oh, but you don't have a left tackle no more. So what? I can pick up a kid in the draft. This ain't the Star Spangled Banner. No, this is the Star Spangled Draft. Okay. I get you. Okay, yep. You. Alright, normal. 81, 76, 71, 80, 82, 88. Needed someone to go. I have two third-round picks. I go ahead and use this one on the... What left tackles are left? Let's go with you. And like, let's look at you real quick. You can jump, but you're not the strongest. And you're hidden development. Like I said, Star Spangled Draft. This is the draft where I get my team of studs to win my division. Favorites, you. Wide receiver, boom, 98, 91, 91, 99, 99. He's a stud. Like I said, Star Spangled Draft. I ain't got another pick until... I thought I had another pick until round 7. But I guess I got 4th round picks. I go in here and then... Do I risk it for this kid? 5'11", 222. He's 22. Screw it. He could be a bust, but... I want to get a left outside linebacker in this draft. And now, time to go... Again, I thought I had later picks. I had more 7s. No, not you yet. Okay, let's pick up Mike McDaniels. I'm pretty sure he's a head coach. I'll be back. Let's pick up Mike McDaniels. That's head coach, please. Well, I'm back. Viewing my draft board real quick to see if I've drafted anyone new. Nope, still got picks.
So to understand how Carson found himself at the lowest point he could possibly be at, we gotta go all the way back. April 28th, 2016, the day it all began. The 2016 NFL Draft had just gotten underway, and after acquiring the number 2 overall pick from the welfare-dependent Browns a week prior, the Philadelphia Eagles James Wentz, second overall, ringing cardboard, could be the savior of Philadelphia. But that plan didn't work out even a little bit, as the Eagles went 7-7 under Bradford for the games he actually played in, then lost another 2 with Mark Sanchez, which of course led to the firing of their disaster artist head coach in Chip Kelly. So now with an empty seat, who would be the leader of men for Philadelphia in the future? On January 14, 2016, the Eagles announced they would be hiring Andy Reid disciple Doug Peterson to be their 23rd head coach in franchise history. And along with Carson Wentz, these two would change everything for the city of Philadelphia. So the dynamic duo of Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz had been formed, and once they got to work, immediately things started looking very promising for Philly. Sort of. I mean, after a few unexpected setbacks during training camp, things went smoothly for Carson Wentz. As reports and eyewitnesses claimed, Carson was developing faster than anyone could have predicted, but he still wasn't ready to start come week 1 of the 2016 season, as Sam Bradford was supposed to continue to mentor the young ginger. And throughout the preseason, if anything, this plan was only reinforced, with Carson Wentz going down in a preseason game early, so I mean, there's no way the Eagles would willingly put out an injured quarterback in week 1, right? I mean, that would just be outrageous and idiotic on every conceivable, just days before the season began. Meanwhile, up north, Teddy Bridgewater at the time, a Viking, was attacked by a rogue pigeon and was now out for the year. So, to take full advantage of a desperate franchise, the Eagles traded Sam Bradford to the Vikings, leaving Carson Wentz and, I guess...
So, 84, goddamn! 75, 74, 72, 70, 74, 72, 62, 74, 72, 72. What? Literally, the backup QB is the worst player I drafted. Goddamn. Who's the highest rated player this draft? Because I feel like I got him. Curse you, BJ Davis. Curse you. And Michael Hard. But then ahead is my guy, BJ Davis right here. I don't know why, but I think he's pretty good at something. I can't place my finger on it. literally all I gotta say about the Chargers. That is the best draft ever.
Chase Daniels all alone in the quarterback room. Now Carson Wentz was forced into action way earlier than anyone, including himself, could have possibly thought, as he was set to face the Cleveland Browns as the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles in just week 1. And how did it go? Well, I'm not gonna lie, it went pretty damn well.
End zone.
Are you buying Carson Wentz as an elite quarterback,
I am buying Carson Wentz.
Through his first 3 games, Carson Wentz incinerated the
See, this is
NFL.
what we're needing. A elite caliber QB that knows how to pass. That is not young and prone to making lots of mistakes. A older guy who can... Oh, okay, that was not a good pass on my end. There, so I blame myself for that. But see, this is what I've been needing, and just an elite level QB. Sure. Oh, it's Jared Goff. What do you mean elite? He's not elite. He missed one pass so far just because I made a major mistake and threw it at a horrible time on a bad route. Jared Goff could be the savior of this team this season. Just because he is not going to give up horrible, easy passes. Jared Goff knows how to pass the ball. So it's like, Jared Goff is what this team needs at this point. We need to be able to just pass the football. That is all. That is low-key all we are needing to be a decent team. Just passing the ball. And now we have a kid who can go in if Hall gets hurt. Because that was the main thing last season. Hall gets hurt, we're screwed. Because when we couldn't pass, we needed to rely on the run. But when he gets hurt, well, we lose our running back. So how are we meant to run? But now, we have a young kid who has wheels for days and is not willing to give up that easily, if I'm correct. Look at this kid. He outruns everyone, and the worst rated person I picked up was a quarterback. To be a backup. I picked up a third string quarterback, and that was the worst player I picked up in the draft. And that's how you can tell that was a good draft. And the worst player is, again, a third stringer in QB. Yeah, just broke that man's ankles and got him. This kid, I'm going to say all I'm going to say about him. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I have to use him a lot. It is that simple. Look at this. He starts going, and then boom. Makes it. And this play. Boom. Look at him. He turns on the wheels, and he's gone. He's gone. This is not close. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Yeah, baby. What's up? Want to sit? Yeah, just like that. Like, that kid is going to be the next big thing for the NFL. Okay, hidden and hidden. Like, we got Looney Moody, who's definitely going to get work on, because I want Looney to be a stud, but this game is good covered draft. I guess draft covered in only pure stars. And look at this, boom. Hubbard is probably going to be a starter. Look at that, boom. He made that small cut in time. What, Mom? Yeah, we is over here. Come see. Okay. Boom, he gets it.
Let's go now.
Hubbard might be by far the scariest player coming out of the draft, other than cornerback I picked up, who could have been the best if it wasn't for BJ. Goddamn BJ. Damn, like I said earlier, I wonder what he's good at. Probably giving hugs. Boop, broke his ankles. Boom. That's the scary thing about him. He can break ankles like boom. Did that small turn and boom, made it. And boom, caught it. Wait, what are you looking at? My cat's so confused. The cat's kind of puzzled. Wide receiver battle red zone. This time I'm going to go ahead and use...
And put the entire league on notice when in week 3, Carson Wentz obliterated the Pittsburgh Steelers 34-3 as Wentz outplayed future Hall of Famer and general good guy Ben Roethlisberger in every facet of the game. Carson's stats were also on a whole nother level through this small sample size as he dropped a...
Ready.
Yeah, look at this. What, Mom? Where is he? Ah, okay. We are just laying on top of my air conditioner. Look at this kid. He has what it takes to be a play stud in this league. Look at him. He's burning out a former player that could have been Defensive Rookie of the Year. I know that's not even the Defensive Rookie of the Year candidate. Like, Blackwell. That's, Desmond King, I think. Like, look at him. He's just breaking him down bit by bit. Look at that. Just, boom, broke his ankles and made it in. He is not giving up. One of those two are going to be starter. Odell, I picked up just for a bit. Like, for a little bit. And there's a chance he might not even stay on the team for long. Like, look at this. George, like, sure, you aren't that highly rated. Like, yeah, I got a bunch of normal guys, but let's go up here. Get in there. Your first season. You're guaranteed to be starting at right end. So you were good. Start right end. And I feel like it could be George, so you could be moved to guard, to tackle. Like, defensive tackle, but look at you. You just played. Ran through. Oh, god damn it. No. He got to that guy. He's like, got the Goff, and Goff was like, what the? Goff is confused by that kid. Because look at him. He goes a bit, and then he, like, throws it. He got hit out of balance. Okay. We started. I'm gonna try not at least get a silver on these. And if it's like the receiving ones, I know I don't do good on those, I won't try to get higher than bronze. Like, I won't expect higher than bronze. It's the other ones I suck at. These are not good at. See that? He just ran in, got the golf, and then dropped. This kid is a pure stud. And he was a second-round pick for me. God damn, I wonder what the next draft's gonna bring. He just took that, like, look at this. This is not that close of a game.
A total of 769 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions through 3 games. And comparing him to the last 2 historic Offensive Rookie of the Year quarterback winners, Carson Wentz was right there, leading his Eagles to an undefeated record, something the other 2 guys here failed to accomplish. Carson Wentz was breaking a new quarterback record pretty much every other week, to the point where the public and Eagles fans alike were just getting used to it. So with all of this unprecedented success, there was one question on everyone's mind. Could Carson Wentz somehow keep this up and continue on his historic trajectory? Well, although he wasn't bad per se, the answer to that question is no. No, he couldn't. Although he didn't slow down his volume whatsoever, the law of averages set in as Carson began throwing a little more passes to the other team, but still looked very comfortable out there, especially for a rookie who was never even supposed to play. So although the Eagles had fallen off a little bit since their 3-0 start, they still had a shot to do something in the playoffs, as going into a Week 11 game against what was left of the Seahawks Legion of Boom unit, they had a prime chance to stake their claim as a real threat in the NFC. So the Eagles would take on the Seahawks, and after this game, a historic landslide would unfortunately take place.
Took him down with force.
The Eagles would experience a 5-game stretch of pure misery, and Philadelphia would probably be eliminated from the playoffs, and Carson Wentz's impressive rookie season was over just like that. But through these 13 games, Carson Wentz finished the 2016 season still showing a ton of promise for the future, as although he had regressed significantly from that godly 3-game stretch, averaging 231.8 yards per game, not even a touchdown, and now over an interception. But still, these numbers were nothing to worry about. But although his numbers may appear pedestrian, pretty much everyone in the Eagles locker room believed in Carson Wentz and said that he basically had that it factor, something you just can't teach. And it also helped Carson's case that throughout his rookie season, we got some very interesting insight into how he prepares in between games, as Doug Peterson described Carson Wentz's film sessions and pregame preparation rituals as Peyton Manning-esque, which is pretty much the highest possible praise a young quarterback can get. So although obviously with Carson Wentz, the future was looking very bright, but nobody.
This kid's going to be the fucking future. Like, look at this. Cover him. Ah! First pass he's ever allowed. So, first pass allowed during practice. Hopefully he's going to be the only one. Ah! Yeah, not another one. Okay. No. Yeah. Hey, baby. What's up, baby? What's up, little baby? Just want my window? You really like my window, don't you? Just threw him. Just get out of my face. That was not even close to being fair. Yeah. He's just holding the receiver. Like, who is this receiver? He's stopping number 13. No, it says 12. I'm correct. No! Holy cow! He just completely manhandled that man. God damn, that's Defensive Rookie of the Year. I am not hesitating to say it. Defensive Rookie of the Year candidate. He manhandled him for the entire practice and allowed one catch. Well, actually, no, allowed 2 catches. Holy cow, what was that? I don't think that was it. I don't think that was not allowing him to catch. I just think that was not allowing him to live. Holy cow, okay. We got Mike McDaniels making goddamn masterful plays. Ah!
Here we go.
Okay, he allowed one. He allowed a catch and a touchdown, it seems. Took him correct. He literally moved to take a perfect angle and hit him. Holy crap! Who are these cornerbacks I've drafted this year? Like, Mike McDaniels is first off meant to be a head coach for the Miami Dolphins, but apparently he just decided, you know what, nah, I'm gonna become a cornerback now. He's allowed 2 catches for 2 touchdowns that entire practice. So, the guy drafted has been shown he doesn't love him.
Hey! Why is no one hype?
Spider-Man gave him a high five and he fainted that, and the guy he high five face planted. The Spider-Man syndrome. Pew!
O cholera! Czy to Freddy Fazbear? O cholera! Czy to Freddy Fazbear?
And I mean, nobody could have possibly predicted what the 2017 NFL season had in store for Philly.
Carson Wentz is the MVP. Torn ACL, it appears, yes.
For the Philadelphia Eagles, the long drought is over.
But first, we had the 2017 offseason to get through, and the Eagles got busy making sure Carson Wentz had all the weapons he possibly needed, as they added LeGarrette Blount and way later Jay Ajayi at running back, as well as Alshon Jeffrey and Torrey Smith at receiver. And add that onto the fact that Lane Johnson, arguably the best right tackle in football, was set to be eligible to return for the entire 2017 season after a suspension, and it looked like Carson Wentz had upgraded his cooker from a microwave to a gas-powered grill. Add all of these new shiny toys at Carson Wentz's disposal onto the fact that we had just been bombarded with constant reports about Carson's unprecedented work ethic, and Eagles fans just couldn't wait for the season to start. Oh, the Eagles also brought Nick Foles back. Just, something I thought I'd mention. Probably won't matter, though. So with that, the 2017 NFL season would begin, and for Eagles fans, I think the season started off a little slower than they would have liked. Throughout the first couple of weeks, the Eagles hovered around the league as nothing more than a middle-of-the-pack team. But eventually, in just a few weeks, that would all change. In week 3, with the threat of going 1-2 as a very real possibility, Carson Wentz and the Eagles were locked in a dangerous duel with the New York Giants. After a poor punt by the Giants, Carson Wentz froze Eli Apple on a fake read and found Alshon Jeffrey for a 19-yard completion, giving the Eagles a chance. Holding his massive schlong with two hands, Doug Peterson sent out the Eagles' rookie kicker Jake Elliott to attempt a 61-yard field goal to win the game, and he made it. So if you want one takeaway from this Eagles win, this team had one massive pair on them. And instead of one flash-in-the-pan moment, this Jake Elliott field goal would effectively be the spark that would ignite the 2017 Eagles. In Week 5 of the still very early 2017 season...
What the hell? Thank you, sir. Aww. God bless.
Sent out the Eagles' rookie kicker Jake Elliott to attempt a 61-yard field goal to win the game, and he made it. So if you want one takeaway from this Eagles win, this team had one massive pair on them.
Nice.
Instead of one flash
I love when someone has a massive pair on them.
This Jake Elliott field goal would effectively be the spark that would ignite the 2017 Eagles. In Week 5 of the still very early 2017 season, Carson Wentz exploded on the poor Cardinals for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns as the Eagles finally started getting the respect that they deserve. Then, just 1 week after that, the Panthers would be the next victim to Carson Wentz's blade, as the Eagles had moved to 5-1 and were straight up strangling their prey to death over this period of time. During this 6-game stretch, Carson Wentz was the conductor to the most efficient offense in the league. And according to this graphic done by the one and only Brett Coleman, it wasn't even close either, as not a single defense that had challenged the Eagles had come even close to throwing Carson Wentz off of his historically great season thus far. But we've already seen this before with Carson Wentz, where he'll have a small stretch of games of just beyond elite play only to come crashing back down to reality. Except this time, something different would happen.
The one. Wentz for the end zone. Touchdown. Stick to throws. Touchdown.
But to me, the NFL MVP right now is Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz was simply a different breed. Through this next 5-game stretch, Carson was rarely even in close games, as the Eagles destroyed most teams they played in the first half. But that didn't stop him from dropping an admittedly pedestrian 214 yards per game, but 3 touchdowns per game on the dot and barely an interception. It's crazy to think back on now, but at one point, Carson Wentz was the textbook definition of an MVP-level quarterback who specialized in overwhelming efficiency. But for all of his success, Carson Wentz and the Eagles still had their doubters. And luckily for both parties, ahead of the Eagles were probably their 2 hardest tests of the season, with a Week 13 showdown at Seattle and the following week at the ghost town of the Los Angeles Rams. These games were important for a variety of reasons, but from a narrative standpoint, although Carson Wentz had a healthy grasp on the MVP, both Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson and Rams running back Todd Gurley had been trailing Carson all year long, and finally had a chance to derail the all but inevitable MVP. It's Week 13, and the day had come. Prime time Sunday Night Football. Russell Wilson versus Carson Wentz, a matchup that everyone had marked on their calendar. And as the two duked it out, the result wasn't great. As remember, Russell Wilson in a Seahawks jersey in December might have been the coldest player in NFL history, so his performance was expected. But for the first time, Carson Wentz looked at least a little bit stifled, as although he had a good game overall, at points when it mattered, the Seahawks were able to clamp Carson up, which led to the Eagles continuing to push further into this all-or-nothing ideology, going for 4 fourth downs in this game opposed to the Seahawks 0. So, the Eagles lost, but this game was chalked up as more of a defensive woe than a Carson Wentz problem. And unfortunately, in some version of Twisted Fate, this narrative would later be confirmed, as in just the next week, the second test would come up for Carson Wentz, as they would travel to the Los Angeles Rams Stadium in Week 14. This game had a ton of baggage behind it, as on top of the far-fetched Todd Gurley for MVP thing that was going on, this was the first ever NFL battle of the top 2 picks of the 2016 NFL Draft. So fireworks were expected, and I guess fireworks were delivered just, more in a Jason Pierre-Paul kind of way. Immediately, the Rams went down the field and got a Todd Gurley touchdown, and after one singular fan said Todd Gurley for MVP or something like that, Carson Wentz unleashed pure rage on the Rams, scoring 3 easy touchdowns on 3 straight drives, slicing through one of the best defenses in the league like Greg Hardy through his ex-girlfriend. He was just scorching the Rams all day, but I believe one singular play from this game basically just summed up what 2017 Carson Wentz was in a nutshell. With a 3rd and 11 on their own 30, a first down would have been nice here, but with only a minute and 24 on the clock, it would be more logical to try and make the Rams burn a timeout and make their next drive a little bit more difficult. Instead, Doug Peterson had a pulley installed to hold his magnum dong and trusted everything in his MVP quarterback. With the entire pocket crumbling around him, Carson's just chilling in the cluttered pocket and through some miracle finds Torrey Smith to set up a free field goal. But even with Carson playing out of his mind, the Rams crawled back into the game, meaning Carson Wentz went straight back to work, going right down the field where the Eagles found themselves in a 1st and goal situation on the 3-yard line. The following clip may not be suitable for children, and Eagles fans, I'm sorry.
Wentz to his right. Flag is down, and Wentz for the touchdown, but a flag thrown.
Just like that, it was over. Everything that Carson Wentz had been building all season long was crumbling down on one singular play, and the Eagles in just a few milliseconds went from a Super Bowl favorite to just an underdog. And although Nicholas' extensive Richard Foles would come in and rally the Eagles to a much-needed win over the Rams, it didn't really matter to Eagles.
Oh my god, I feel bad for Wentz.
and NFL fans alike, as after the game, we got the most devastating, worst-case scenario news. Carson Wentz was done for the season. His MRI done one day after the game revealed Carson had torn his ACL, arguably the worst
That didn't look like an
injury
ACL
in
there.
sports. And outside of the obvious blow to Carson's physical health, meanwhile, the Eagles as a football team had just lost possibly the best player in the league to injury, meaning their season was all but over as well. But no, it just couldn't have been that easy now, could it? So with Carson 6 feet under, the first-seeded Eagles had a new quarterback as Nick Foles was now the commander of this fearsome unit. Except Foles might have been the best possible one, as the Nick Foles experience was all... Today I'm playing the rest of Patrick Mahomes' career and not stopping until the day he retires. We pick up into current day NFL with Patrick as a member of the 99 Club. So season by season, making sure to track his progress every step of the way until Patrick actually makes another Super Bowl. At that point, I'll play the entire game and try my absolute best to get him to 7,000 ratings. I'm curious to see what Mahomes does at the end of his massive contract. Like, does he stay in Here we go. Eventually sign elsewhere? I mean, did anybody think the Chiefs weren't going to win the division? I'm expecting this every season of Mahomes' career. I mean, we only had the best offense in the league. Imagine how good this team could be. We actually could get a good defense. Patrick was ridiculous season today. 5,000 yards, 35 touchdowns to only 4 picks with a 75% completion percentage. That's not even fair. Now, I have to say it does suck that he didn't hit the 5,000 yards. 5,000 yards is just one of the 5 career challenges that he must complete the day before he retires. And if he does complete all 5, Patrick wins, which means I have to buy a Patrick Mahomes jersey and give it away to a random lucky subscriber in the comments. So you guys should be rooting for Patrick, while at the same time, I kind of root against them. Definitely would prefer not to have to waste money on a jersey I'm not even going to wear. Now look at Isaiah Pacheco with a strange season, like a really bad average yard per carry, but 16 touchdowns is nice. And Richie James going for 1,300 yards and 16 touchdowns, let me tell you, that wasn't on my bingo card. 3 1,000-yard receivers almost had 4 with Kadarius Toney. Disappointed, though, that Justin Ross, Sky Moore, and Rashee Rice didn't get a single catch all year. There's no shot all 3 of these guys end up as busts, right? And no biggie, just Patrick leading the NFL in passing yards by over 300 yards. Only threw the 5th most passing touchdowns. And wild to me that 75% completion percentage wasn't best in the NFL. Now, were those numbers good enough for Patrick Mahomes to win his first MVP today? Remember, he's gonna need 3. Those numbers were ridiculous. Joe Burrow steals it from him. How did Mahomes not win it? He at least had to make another Pro Bowl, though, so at least he can get on the board. There it is, Pro Bowl appearance number 6 of his career. I'm sure Patrick doesn't give a crap about the MVP award as long as he can make it back to the Super Bowl. First, he has to be one step at a time, though. Let's see if Mahomes can once again take down Josh Allen here in the playoffs. I mean, I would think we could win. We got demolished. How on earth did Patrick Mahomes only throw for 149 yards? He only completed 20 passes all game. What the heck were we doing? That's an absolute putrid offensive performance. Say at least I didn't get fired. Ends up being the Cowboys to win one of the strangest Super Bowls I've ever seen. Now, it is going to be important to track
The hell was happening there?
each and every year.
I was breaking so many tackles.
The team around Patrick, because eventually they are going to lose Travis Kelce, and they're going to have to replace him somehow. I mean, they did make 4 signings, but 2 of the 4 were running backs. At least they didn't lose Willie Gay off the defense. Our front office hesitates to make it up to us, though, with a good draft last year. I mean, we got 3 players 70 overall or higher, and our defense is pretty bad, so I guess that's an okay draft. A year older, but Mahomes is still at 99 overall. Now, I am extremely curious to see how long into his career he can hang on to that 99, which at least 6 of the next seasons are going to be here in Kansas City. Imagine he does actually sign elsewhere. Now, into 2024, I think this offense, again, has a chance to be the best in the league. And the defense isn't that bad. I mean, honestly, as long as Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback, anything less than 12 wins would be considered like a subpar season. As mentioned, kind of subpar for Patrick Mahomes standards. Still won the division, though. They'll make up for it by making the Super Bowl here. Now, I'm really really hoping that this isn't about Travis Kelce, because if this is about Travis Kelce, that means he's probably going to retire. Oh, no. Even Patrick admits it. God dang it. The guy with the Super Bowl. This might be
Damn
a
it.
while until we make it back. Although it does just say potential retirement, so you never know. Another season with the best offense in the league and a small improvement from the defense. Now, that is just stupid numbers. Less yards, but he threw 41 touchdowns, only 2 picks. Bro, if he doesn't win the MVP with these numbers, that stupid award is rigged. Patrick Mahomes' numbers and Pacheco didn't run for 16 touchdowns every season. So let me tell you, our young receivers did step up this season. From 0 catches last season to 1,300 yards and 14 touchdowns. Same thing with Rasheed Rice. Almost had 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. So I'm excited. So even with Travis Kelce's potential retirement, this offense is in really good hands. Led the NFL again in passing yards. Couldn't beat out Geno Smith for passing touchdowns, though. Come on now, give Mahomes his first MVP of the day so he can get on the board. What does that even mean, bro? This award is tainted. What did Lamar do to deserve this? 41 touchdowns, 2 picks, and you don't win MVP. You guys see what Lamar did to deserve that? Less yards, I mean, did throw for 41 touchdowns, but 3 more interceptions. I mean, he only ran for 706 touchdowns. Like, I feel like we still should have won that. At least something's going right for Patrick. Hopefully Patrick can take his frustration and channel it towards the Super Bowl run here, starting with the win over his division rival Raiders. Like, no way the Raiders beat Kansas City. Here we go. You kidding me? And because the defense let Jimmy G throw for 5 touchdowns. Our front office has got to shore up our defense with some this offseason. Got to. Looks like the 49ers won the Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm actually so afraid to see Travis Kelce actually retire. Oh my gosh, did our man actually stay for another year? As of now, our guy's still achieved. It's still at the age of 35 in the 90s. Another 2 to 3 seasons. Curious how many years he has left on his contract. Just one, which means next year is probably going to be his last. So please, man, guys in the front office, make some moves so we can actually win a playoff game and go on a Super Bowl run in Travis Kelce's last year. Because after that, the offense could go backwards. Well, across the NFL, there were some strange moves this offseason. Very strange. What did Patrick Mahomes' Chiefs do? Well, bare minimum, at least they didn't let any of these guys go. If they did, I would have cried. Now, did we add any extra talent? No. We didn't sign a single free agent. Signed no one, but cut 5 players. This better be the most incredible draft class I have ever seen. It's gotta be. We can't waste Kelce's last year with Mahomes. Give us one stud and 3 players 70 or above. I would okay, but interesting enough, it does look like we got our fair to Travis Kelce. He did come with hidden development though, which is kind of an L. I'm just hoping in 2025 this team can actually win a playoff game. Rocky Gary is 22. Step backwards. His defense definitely has some holes. Probably the least talented team Mahomes has had around. Mahomes is the quarterback. Like, they should still be winning the division, right? I told you guys, Patrick Mahomes just doing Patrick Mahomes thing.
What? How? 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 Who do you work for? Who do you work for?
Scared of dentists in the dark. Ever since my dentist turned off all the lights and scared me, he shouted in my ear and grabbed my arm. I was scared of dentists in the dark.
Number 1. Matt, get your hand off my fucking ball. Number 1 pencils 8 ball. Number 1.
8 ball. True. I hate it when people put their hands on my 8 ball. Phew.
Come on, set!
Gosh dang it, it says it again. Maybe if I just continue to watch this cutscene, he'll actually never retire. The guy knocked off at his top offense. At least that's the best defense.
yet. How is the is like quite a bit? It's just another stupid good season for Mahomes, but oh no, probably won't win MVP. Isaiah Pacheco's turned out to be a nice little running back, and Rasheed Rice has turned out to be a very solid receiver. If Kelsey does retire, we're gonna be a 16-touchdown season. It's gonna be sure we actually make it to the Super Bowl this year. Now, please tell me our man finally won an MVP. He deserved it. Finally!
Jesus Christ. How about you,
Not
Instagram?
to mention his 8th Pro Bowl appearance. More progress. There's just no way Patrick Mahomes gets first round in 2 consecutive seasons. Just no shot. No shot. Thank God we finally get a win. Yet to make it to the championship yet.
I'm scared of being beat up in the dark.
Oh my God. Is Patrick Mahomes gonna ever make it to another Super Bowl? At least I get to save my money if he doesn't. Bryce Young.
Oh, he just threw that man. Just went, no. Get out of it. Lock him.
Please tell me Kelsey's gonna stick around at least one more year. Actually stay another season. That's it. No, we actually sign him. I mean, he's sticking around while some big boys are riding into the sunset. I mean, he's still here rocking out. I don't like gonna keep stressing me out though. But at least positives from the season. Rasheed Rice.
Well, they just punched him in the face pretty much.
86 overall. I mean, Pacheco's killing it. Our offensive line's gotta be one of the best in the entire league. I mean, our offense could just fit some
I'm scared of Jimmy Garoppolo.
So we did re-sign Travis Kelce, and of course we did, to a 2-year, $26 million deal. That means he should play another 2 seasons. Now please tell me there was money spent elsewhere and it wasn't consecutive offers. I'm signing a single free agent. Looks like we got brand new coordinators though. Can you please just give me a bigger draft class performance? I'm still waiting on like that 77, 78, 79 overall generational prospect. It just got some depth. I mean, this receiver is massive. I'm telling you, 2026 is going to be the year this team finally shines.
And there we go.
Come on. I still fully trust Patrick Mahomes to lead us to another 12 wins. Let's go now. Mahomes came in last place. Like, look at our teams overall. We fired coordinators ASAP. At worst, our offense has performed so far, and our defense sucked again. I mean, that is the least productive season he's probably had in his career, but that's still ridiculous numbers. And no, I did not expect that rookie receiver we drafted to lead our team in receiving yards. Still great production from Rasheed Rice, although that's like the first time in a long time Kelsey didn't eclipse 1,000 yards. I mean, he is about 203 at this point. So I'm assuming no MVP for Mahomes. Even with those numbers, he did come in 6th. I wonder if these numbers were at least good enough to make the Pro Bowl, so this season wasn't a complete failure. No, it wasn't. For the first time, he doesn't make the Pro Bowl. Literally, the first time in his career. There's no way Travis Kelce can ride into the sunset off of that stinker of a season. The Giants and Ronald Whitfield win one today before Patrick. Oh, as a Titans fan, I'm depressed. Travis Kelce has to fulfill his contract, right? He has 1 more year left. I mean, we have $15 million available in cap room. So hopefully, for once, we actually sign some quality free agents. Our front office has to. They just saw the stinker we had last year. They did bring back Chris Jones on a 1-year deal. Why don't we sign free agents? I just don't understand the logic behind it. I mean, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs deserve to fail. Unless this is the greatest draft class of all time, the depression is going to start to set in. At least this time, we got ourselves 2 quality defenders, which we needed badly. The rest of the class was horrible, though. 2027 has got to be a better year for this squad. And Mahomes is already down to a 98 overall at the age of 31. But hopefully by the end of this season, he'll rejoin the 99 club. As a 98, he's only the 4th best QB. Just out of pure curiosity, he has 3 years left on his contract. And at the rate things are going, man, he might very well want to leave. Things continue to get worse, though. Travis Kelce is all the way down to an 83 superstar. So I think there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is his last year as a Chief. Our defense